What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker.
Amir Rahimi.
And today on The Great Debaters, a little more Eric B. and Rakim. Let the rhythm hit 'em. Great Debaters, y'all. Alright, Amir, so today on The Great Debaters, we are talking about Eric B. and Rakim's Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em. This is their third album. Came out in 1990. And at this point, of course, Rakim in particular, but Eric B. and Rakim are looked at as one of the best rap groups. They're also, Rakim has firmly solidified and established himself as one of the best rappers of all time. And according to many, he is the best rapper of all time. So for you, Amir, by the time you were getting to Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em, what was going on and what were your thoughts initially on the project and getting into this era of the duo?
So, I was listening to Eric B. and Rakim stuff in order because Paid in Full was one of the first albums that I bought, and sometimes when I was very early on, I kind of like went around all over the place. But surprisingly, this album I actually did listen, directly after Follow the Leader, and I listened to Follow the Leader directly after Paid in Full. So I was in the correct order there. Good job. I know. So Paid in Full, I definitely liked more than Follow the Leader. So I was hoping, which I still like Follow the Leader, obviously. So we did a video on that to discuss our favorite picks. But Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em, I was like, well, let's see, how this will hold up to the other two albums. So Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em being the album and the self-titled track being the first track on the album and also my favorite song on the album. That being said, it also is definitely top 3 songs for me in their catalog. Maybe even number 1, but at the very least top 3.
Wow.
Rakim, I usually associate him with a slightly slower flow, very more calm. On this song, however, he's going really fast. The beat is really loud. It's like the beat is breathing, like something like that. It's like it's trying to keep up with Rakim. I don't know. The beat is just excellent to me. It's a pretty long song as well. It's like over 5 minutes, maybe closer to 6. And just what Rakim is just doing to this instrumental and everything he's doing in terms of, what he's saying in terms of the metaphors and all of his imagery and just everything and how he lets the rhythm hit him, etc. I think Rakim is just very good at doing what he's doing. And this is literally lyrical exercise over this instrumental, and there's just so many clever lines throughout the song that I don't want to pinpoint one over the other or what have you, but it's just, honestly, just listen to that right now, like pause this video, listen to that, and then just listen to the rest of the video, because that song is just one that I always revisit at once a month at least. Wow. It's just, to me, it's that good. I don't know, it's one of those songs that I'm usually always in the mood for. Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em, perfect way to start off this album. And after that song, it's kind of like, you really have high hopes for this album. It's hard to top something that strong, to me at least. So
well, they did, going into the post-Paid in Full era of Eric B. and Rakim with Follow the Leader and then this, 2 of the harder, more muscular, up-tempo, fast, forceful songs. Mm-hmm. This is also one of my picks because I think it's phenomenal. I don't like it as much as Amir does, but it's definitely a great song of theirs. And like Amir said, the production on here, the beat is just one of those things where it just mesmerized me, blew me away, and always had me wondering what in the world, how did this even get crafted? Because it was so staggeringly, sonically stellar. And man, even to today, when you listen to this song, it's 30 years old, but then you're just like, this song is so powerful, so driving, and it's not a song, strangely, that a lot of people talk about with Eric B. and Rakim, because they do have so many songs that are revered. It's just not one of them, which I think is ridiculous. But I would also argue, regardless of what Amir's other 2 picks are, whatever songs we end up picking, this album tends to not get as much attention, even though the highs on this album are phenomenally high. So that being said, what you got for your next one, Amir?
The highs are very high. Second pick would be Run for Cover. I really just enjoy And Rakim has done this with a lot of songs, whether it's something like Move the Crowd, whether it's something like Microphone Fiend, where just Rakim, he's very good at making playful rhymes in the sense of, like, oh, he's talking about doing a show, but him doing a show, you have to, like, run for cover. Like, he's on stage, but, the building's going to start collapsing, you're going to need barricades, you're going to have to close the streets, the listeners have to beware, basically, kind of thing. And I just think it's just very clever how he's doing this all just so very, very witty, and he's able to make just an entire song about people running for cover as he takes stage or rocks a microphone. And it's not like Rakim he's not even like cussing at all. Like, you seldom hear him cuss. Obviously he does cuss, and some of my picks he cusses. But it's not too often. When he cusses, your ear like listens even closer. It's like, wow, why is he cussing? But Run for Cover, in my opinion, just the way he's detailing how he's gonna destroy the stage, just through these very clever punchlines, it's very appealing to me, and I think just Run for Cover is just an exceptional song, and I really enjoy it.
I do enjoy that one. That's not one of my picks, but tied into that is one of my picks, which is Mahogany. So that song, he talks a lot about the show too. The interesting thing about Mahogany is that the show means more to him than potentially getting with this girl at the instant. Because he's like, oh, I got to stop and wait after the show. I don't want to miss the show, which is one of his, to my recollection, the first time he actually cussed, because they beeped it out or blurred it out other times. But this was the first time that I remember him using profanity on a song. The also thing that really strikes me about this was the quote-unquote kind of first love song per se that they did. It was also the beat and the feel of it was much more subdued. Of course, we get the New York State of Mind that DJ Premier used for New York State of Mind for Nas on Illmatic, and that's another tie-in to the greatness, and clearly this song resonated with, if no one else, DJ Premier and Nas, in addition to me. But shout out to my boy Sean Craig back in the day. We love this song too, because it was just a different dimension of Rakim, and it showed some of his versatility. And I know he rapped about being a rapper, and he rapped about the 5% and all these different things, these different elements, but then taking it then to talk about a woman was a little bit different. And of course his breakdown of how he was going to interact and be with a woman was very different than what we saw with a Schoolie D or an Eazy-E or an Ice Cube or Too Short or most artists really at the time. So I liked all that, and I also liked the percussion and how that kind of drove the song, but in a different way, from hard-hitting drums. The music's very skeletal, but it also had the drums that were kind of driving the song. And all that, and it was very unexpected. It's toward the end of the album. It's very unexpected. So for all those reasons, that's my second pick.
So Mahogany is my last pick, and that song is really, you summed it up quite well.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean, that it just has to be one of them. I mean, and you also, I remember when I first heard this, I had actually heard Illmatic before I listened to this album. And then when I heard him say in the New York State of Mind, that I was like, oh wow, this is awesome. Always it's so cool when you hear the origin of where someone sampled something from. That's always super cool. It's kind of like a puzzle, you're piecing it together. If you hear a song where they're sampling 6 artists, you're trying to, it's always cool to be like, oh, well, I know he sampled that on, this album, or this whatever artist is continuing to sample this person. So I always think it's very cool. But that was awesome. And then you get all more and more and more imagery, like about the show, about the girl, looks Korean but European or whatever. Like, it's always cool how he's detailing just all these certain things, whether the woman, the show, hip-hop, microphones, it doesn't really matter. Rakim can do it all. And I think his imagery is one of the biggest strong points just of who he is and how he does his raps. So big shout out to Rakim. One thing I do want to mention is this is one of those rare instances where an album got 5 mics from the source, which many people usually, you know, if it's a 4.5 mics, 5 mics, you're like, oh wow, this has to be something spectacular. In my opinion, there are some albums that really deserved, maybe I'm going to get some flack for this, but really deserve like 5 mics above this album. Like, to me, this is definitely not even close to the brilliance and greatness of Paid in Full, my opinion. And I'm just like, how can this get 5 mics over some of the other albums? Granted, I do still enjoy the album, but I'm just like, man, you know, out of the very few albums that got 5 mics, I was hoping that there'd be other ones above this. But that's just my 2 cents. Anyways, those are my 3 picks. What's your last one?
My other one is In the Ghetto, because this was another example, like Mahogany. It showed a different angle and lane for Rakim. The production is much more somber, and it definitely was at the era where people were talking about the hood and the ghetto, and of course gangster rap was in full swing and exploding at this time, and Rakim took us in a different path, kind of like Too Short did with the Ghetto as well. Same, well, his was called The Ghetto, this is In the Ghetto, but they both came out in 1990, and they both showed a light on other aspects of the ghetto that weren't always just this hyper negative, explosive way of looking at it. Rakim's was a little more meditative, I think, and showed, nobody's smiling, so he still had the street, the rough, the edge there, but at the same time it wasn't as arguably sensationalistic as some of the other songs. And I appreciated that because, as we saw, and Ice Cube has told me this when I've talked to him, and I've seen him mention it to other people too, but like that's why, one of the reasons why DJ Pooh and he wanted to do Friday was to show the other side of the hood, and I thought Too Short with the Ghetto and Rakim In the Ghetto showed different things that weren't so sensationalistic, so vitriolic, and all those different types of things. And for that, I really appreciated it. And then the video being in black and white, and it being kind of, just not as aggressive as we saw with Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em, with Follow the Leader, and even arguably with Microphone Fiend as far as the videos. So I just like the different dimension of Rakim that we get on the song, and the beat and the music was cool. It wasn't like astounding to me, but I think it worked well with Rakim's demeanor and tone on the song, and really enabled us to get this other lane of Rakim. And for that reason, I appreciate it. Those are my 3 picks. You guys got Amir's 3 picks. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share to both Unique Access Entertainment and the Rappin and Snackin, and let us know your top 3 picks. Eric B. and Rakim's Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em. I'm Soren Baker.
Amir Rahimi.
Great debaters, y'all.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the DOC, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
It would be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Yo MTV back with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the street. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.